Hello guys and welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother, and today we are going to be talking about the night after eviction night. And I gotta say, the house is feeling a little bit more intact than it was last week, but you can feel tensions brewing, and tonight is going to be nominations part 2. So you can tell that this episode was very much sort of like the calm before the storm. There was a lot of funny moments. There were a lot of interesting conversations. And I'm very, very excited to delve into it. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys very, very much. I actually don't know what subscriber count we're on. Last I checked, it was 679, I think it was. So you guys are doing a fantastic job at the moment. We are on our way to 700. We've got a week left to hit the deadline. Come on, guys, you can do this. I'm really, really impressed with you so far, but you guys need to step it up. You need to get me that little final stretch more. And I mean, you're doing fantastic already, but keep the momentum going. Thank you, guys. I appreciate every single one of you for joining the squad, joining the ranters, joining the fun. And yeah, let's just jump straight into the episode, shall we? So the episode itself started with sort of like the fallout from Gary's eviction, and Louie was just like, it was the right decision. It was the right decision. He had to go. He had to go. I can't do his accent to save my life, but you get what I mean. It's that kind of sort of Irish brogue. But I actually think it was the right decision as well. I'd much rather have Lauren here. She just interests me more. As I didn't know who she was going into the house. Like I said, the only people I didn't know going into the house were ZZ, Gary and Lauren, and I'm liking ZZ and Lauren. Or I find them interesting at least. So I don't know. Gary, bye-bye. Anyway, moving on. I actually found the next conversation the most interesting one of the episode. Sharon and Louie were talking about Donald Trump, and Louie was basically like, oh, I'm allergic to him. I'm allergic to him. And Sharon was like, I actually did Celebrity Apprentice with him, and he was a very, very lovely guy. But he only treated me like that because he found me attractive. He does not treat women that he finds unattractive very well. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting tea. This is gossip. I like this. And then she basically was like, I think Lauren, I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, I hope that she has a bit on the side in sort of relation to Melania. And I found that absolutely hilarious. And then lastly, Sharon was like, he's 78, so hopefully we won't have to suffer him much longer. I mean, Sharon, you can't be saying that, but also kind of facts. But it is tough because like he's one of those people where he's so divisive and he's such a big personality in America that, like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting when he does pass, because it could cause a civil war martyrship to begin. Who knows? I hope not, but like it would be crazy. So the main bulk of the episode was spent sort of talking about the challenge, the shopping task for the week, and I gotta say, this was absolutely hilarious, incredibly fun to watch, and on the whole just an absolute joy to engage with. The whole idea was that Big Brother had been turned into a police district. Lauren was made the captain, Marisha was her deputy, and everybody else had to solve crimes in order to stop, like, Big Hat Johnny or something like that. I can't remember what his name was. But it was actually quite entertaining to watch. However, there were also bad cops, and David was called to the diary room to be like, you are now the secret bad cop, and you have to try and sabotage every single challenge in order to win the luxury shopping budget. So if the rest of the house succeed and you fail, everyone fails. But if you succeed and you don't get caught, you will win the luxury shopping budget. And I was like, this is interesting. This is good. This is juicy, juicy content. And I gotta say, this was absolutely hilarious. It was brilliant because David got Zizi on board, and it was just a laugh a minute with them from then on. The first sort of thing that they had to do, Sharon, Fern, and Zizi were called to the crime scene of a dead body, and it was just like a clown mannequin. But they treated it really, really seriously, and it was actually so funny to see them take it so seriously. Sharon be like, "Oh, it's a ghastly sight, isn't it?" Fern covering the body with a sheet, and then reporting back while Zizi kept an eye on the body. And then when she was sort of she was initiated as a bad cop, she was told that they had to hide the body and make sure that nobody noticed. Do you know what? I will say this, and you'll hear me say this a lot. They absolutely smashed this challenge. I don't think I've seen a challenge, sort of a sabotage challenge, a secret mission, done so well on a Big Brother series before. It was absolutely spectacular, and yeah, it was just absolutely phenomenal. So they successfully managed to hide the body. I think David stuffed some pillows underneath the sheet to make it look realistic. They actually did a really good job. I know I'm saying that a lot, but they got it in there. And then their second task, the second task was a lot harder because David and Bradley were out on like a stakeout in the garden, and they had to watch like for sightings of this Johnny guy handing over money. And for the most part, it was a good like mini challenge, but then David had to then distract him and throw the count off. So he then tried to get Zizi out there, and then Zizi came out and was like, "Bradley, you like, I'll relieve you because like I want to break. I want to sit outside for a bit. I'm getting a bit hot and flustered in there." And Bradley was like, "Oh, chill, chill, chill." And then Lauren comes out, and Lauren's like, "No, Zizi, you got to come back inside." I don't know why. I had a feeling it was something to do with like Big Brother was like, "Well, you can't really do that," but it did feel like a little bit like, Lauren, why are you so sort of like, what is she meant to be doing in there that's so important? Like, what? I don't understand what's happening here. So yeah, the second challenge was interesting. The way that David was trying to distract Bradley was absolutely hysterical. I actually don't know how Bradley didn't smell a rat, because it was so blatantly obvious that he was trying to distract him that it was actually uncomfortable to watch at times. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. The next challenge, Coulson and Ekin-Su had to go to a crime scene and search for severed fingers, which was really, really funny. It was actually a real disgusting crime scene. They had to like put their hands in like different things, and it did not look like it was fun. And they were like donned up in the full CSI gear, which I thought was really funny. And they did seem to have a genuinely good time. But then David and Zizi got the message that they needed to steal the fingers from the evidence locker. And they were like, how the fuck are we going to do that? How on earth are we going to distract everyone to the point where we can get into the evidence locker and steal the fingers? How's that going to happen? And then David has the bright idea and goes, hang on a minute. What if we ask Lauren, can we go for a break in the garden for like 10 minutes? And Lauren was like, fantastic idea. Everyone out into the garden. And obviously David's like, oh, I'm just going to stay behind. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. And then Levi came back in. And David was like, oh, I'll make the cups of tea for I think it was for Bradley and Nikita. And Levi was like, ah, chill. Nice. That's good. And then him and Zizi nicked the fingers, took them through. When I tell you, Zizi would dart through the hidden passage. Like, I'm sure she dived through it a couple of times. She genuinely took this mission with both horns and just sort of rode it to victory, which is a weirdly sexual analogy now that I'm thinking about it, but we're gonna move on. They managed to do it, and at the end of the day, Big Brother was like, guys, you failed all the challenges, because it was iconic when Ekin-Su was like, where are the fingers? The fingers were in here. And then I think it was it Levi and Bradley that that found that the body had been taken and it was just a load of pillows, and they brought it back in, and everyone was like, that wasn't the body that was out there. Where's the body gone? And then when Big Brother revealed they'd failed every single challenge, including the one that Bradley and David were on, everyone was like, what's going on? And then Big Brother was like, yo guys, come here. come here. There's been some bad cops. There's been some rogue people, and then they basically had to be like, who do we think essentially in the nicest way possible, who do we think the traitors are? Which is low-key a really, really funny crossover, because it essentially was sort of like a traitors crossover, because they ended up blaming Fern and Bradley, and Bradley was like, oh, you're gonna look like right mugs when you find out it's not me. And I was like, I've heard that exact line so many times on the traitors, which is so funny to me. It really, really was such a fantastic thing, because they ended up guessing Bradley and Fern. Bradley and Fern had to sit in jail for a while, which I found incredibly funny. And then what happened was they found out that obviously David and Zizi were the ones that were sabotaging everything, and they won the luxury food budget, which you gotta hand it to them. Absolutely fantastic work from everyone involved. Yeah, really, really good job. David and Zizi, I mean, David's now a favourite to win the series. I wouldn't mind that. I think he's actually really funny and he's really entertaining and he's doing a lot for the series. I didn't think he would, but he is. So I'm very grateful for that. So, yeah, on the whole, big 10 out of 10 challenge from Big Brother this series. It was lacking last series, but this is really, really entertaining. So we got into a little bit of a conversation about reality shows, and I think it was Lauren who brought up the Osbournes, the sort of original reality TV show that kind of inspired things like the Kardashians and sort of things like that. It was interesting because Lauren seems to have such a love and adoration for that show, because obviously it probably was something that she used to watch when she was younger, that it was actually really lovely to hear her talk to Sharon about it, and it was really lovely. And then the subject of the housewives got brought up by Louie, and Louie was like, what's the best one out in America? Is it Beverly Hills? Is it Atlanta? And Sharon basically just slated the housewives as fake, as splashing their money, whilst Lauren was literally sitting there. But I always wonder, the American one does feel very much like they're living their best life and they don't have to do anything, whereas like the UK ones don't feel like that. The UK one just feels like, I mean, I haven't seen it, to be fair, I haven't seen either, but like this is just from like impressions of what I've seen of clips. The UK one is less about, oh, we've got money, let's splash it. This one, like in the UK, is more, here is money, go and splash it, from like the production company, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know whether that's true or not. That's what I got from Lauren's sort of Lauren's explanation. But Lauren didn't seem to be offended. I think she kind of agreed to an extent with some of the things. But she's worked her way up. She said she used to be, I actually can't remember what she used to be, but she was explaining it. And then they got onto the topic of OnlyFans, and this is where the discourse happened on Twitter this morning. It seems like the internet's really divided with Ekin-Su over sort of her comments about how she would rather be broke than earn £1 million doing the wrong thing and still have her dignity intact. Like, the comments surrounding OnlyFans is one of those things where, like, I personally wouldn't do it because I would feel like it's just not what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? It's not my vibe. But if people want to do it, go for it. Just not my kind of thing. I don't want to make money that way. I like Ekin-Su, I would rather do it a different way and still sort of know that I haven't flashed everything for cash. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people want to do it, and that's absolutely fair and valid. But a lot of people have been giving Ekin-Su hate for sort of saying what a lot of people think. Not everyone is as sexually liberal as other people like to think everyone is. Like, it's just one of those things. Don't hate her, please, because like I feel like a lot of the hate for Ekin-Su at the moment is really, really like artificial. Like, you're making it up yourself. It's like someone accused her of being a Trump supporter, and I was like, where did you get that from? What? Where? What? Maybe I need to rewatch the conversation, but I don't remember her saying anything about Trump. Anything at all. It's just a long day. It's a long day when it comes to the internet because I actually just can't be bothered. what else have I got to talk about? Just before I end the episode, Louie went for a nap and shrieked as Lauren woke him up, which was quite funny. And Nikita, Coulson, and Bradley did a little Wash Bros routine, which was quite funny. But that is literally it. That's the episode. There actually wasn't a lot of content to talk about in this episode, strangely. I really thought there would be. Oh, and the other iconic moment was Ekin-Su asking Sharon if she'd do OnlyFans, and Sharon went, "Fuck off." She really slipped back into her Brixton roots there. But that is all we have time for today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to keep on ranting. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well, and I'll see you guys later. Bye now.